I'm searching for it. Oh, there it goes. Is that it?
Hopefully.
I see
Let
you
me
in front.
refresh. Oh, hello, Mr. Cito.
Peace. What's happened?
What's
We
going
are
on?
live. Gentlemen, we are live. Tre, AV, K7, we're live
Oh,
on
Abe, what's up,
Hello,
brother?
hello.
What's going
we're
on?
live.
What's going on, guys?
Well, I want to welcome
Look,
everybody to
look.
this special edition of CPR's Clubhouse Live. We are live on social media. We are live on Facebook. We have a lot of people requesting to be part of this. I'm going to make it public so everyone is able to see it. But I want to
Oh,
welcome everyone to this great public event, a reunion of sorts, a family reunion. And I couldn't wait to get everyone together. Once again, we have K7, we have AB, we also have Tre. Los will be joining us shortly. But this is a celebration of a reunion that we saw this past Monday on the DJ Frankie Cutler show, which
yes.
took everyone by surprise. It was a great surprise. It was a great thing to witness on a Monday night. It was a positive thing in freestyle for many. One quote that I will read to you is that there was at least 3 or 4 men, grown men, that had a tear in their eye when and these are separate quotes for different men that had a tear in their eye when they saw the reunion of the members of TKA. So, gentlemen, I'll go around. Kay, how are you tonight?
I am fantastic, man. We're living during a strange time, and it feels good that something could turn out well during COVID. You know what I mean? So, I know we lost a lot here, but I think that this is a good step forward. And it gives hope to this community.
Absolutely. Ailey, how are you feeling today after seeing all the positive reaction?
A little overwhelmed, actually. I'll be honest with you. Um, I mean, from the get-go, it was a positive thing to do. That's how we set upon to do it. But it's been overwhelming when you have literally 100,000 people and thousands, literally thousands of people with, you just made my year. Oh, in the middle of all this madness, this is just what I needed. And that's what we're here for, as performers. That's what we're here for. So I'm
Now,
good,
Tre,
man.
you were also there. You had your NWO TKA shirt on. I was gonna play the theme song, but how did you feel watching these two men come together?
Well, for me, I listen, at that moment when I knew it was going to happen, I was more like a fan because I haven't seen these two individuals perform together since 1988, since I met them. The very first time I met them was when they were reopening Studio 54 and they were performing that night. And I was with Cynthia and I met them. I watched them perform, but that was it. That was the last time. So it was a pleasure for me to be involved with these two gentlemen coming together and doing Scars of Love. It's like I was like, wow.
Yeah, to
You,
me,
you
So
want to hear
it
the
was cool.
you want to
go
hear the
ahead.
funniest thing? I knew that because over the past 10 years, Trey every once in a while would he throughout all the heat that was happening, every once in a
Yeah.
while he would test me and he was like, "Yo, would you do it again?" And I would almost burn a hole through him, right? But the funny thing is, I was talking to Frankie Cutlass like 45 minutes ago, and Yo, K, did you see me and Trey in the background, or did you just watch you and AB perform? I said, I just watched me and AB perform. He goes, look at me and Trey in the background. Slapping father, we're hugging each other. And I'm
Dude,
like, I went back to watch the video, and I actually see them slapping hands and hugging each other in the background because they were so happy.
listen,
Yeah,
So yeah,
as soon as AB started singing, Frankie and I looked at each other. We were like, "Yo, this is insane."
and that
So
right
so that
there,
was cool.
that encapsulates the entire reaction of the freestyle community as a whole. Everything that I saw was positive. Even when people like Frankie gets a negative press, and not for this occasion. This occasion has been nothing but positivity. For the most part, of course, you have your detractors, and we'll talk about those things. But I want to get down to the nitty gritty and ask some questions. Now, I've had this conversation with you for many years, Kay, in regards to having AB and you perform together, join groups, the mega powers coming back together, Hogan and Macho Man, whatever. But
That's a great analogy, though.
so I've been a big advocate, and I've talked your ear off, and you've asked me for my opinion. And then when I saw it, and you told me before that there was a possibility of this happening, I waited for this to occur. But how did that door open? I want to ask you, Kay, and then I want AB to follow up. How did the door open for you guys to reunite and for you guys to start talking again?
Well, first, because you're probably you and and a couple of other people in this community are the people who I talk to the most, because I most of the time I stay away, but the people who I speak to regularly, you're one of those people. So in all of our conversations, I've always told you, I said, if there is one person out of the other squad that I'm okay with, or that I would ever speak to again, or or I would worry if something would happen to them, it was AB. And you used to, I remember that every single time that we spoke about it, you were like, yeah, AB's a good dude. Yeah, AB's a good dude. But because of everything that was transpiring, because of all the mess that's been happening in the past few years, the conversation would end because you knew that I was heated about something else, right? And then in January of this year, Joey Gardner called me up, and he said, I'm going to do this documentary. And I would like to do a documentary where I freestyle that's in, because, I think that all these artists, their true story, their reality, the in-depth stuff. So this is not going to be like, a normal doc. We're going to go through it, and we're going to actually break down each person's story. But first, I want to start with you guys. And he says, would you come down? So I couldn't make it at the time, and I think AB went first. And after AB did his interview, he sent me a picture just to see what the setup was like. And he showed me a picture of AB. And I haven't, with all the mess that happened, so many, and Jose, if anyone knows, how many screenshots I get on a daily basis of the mess that's been happening over the past 13 years. So I got a screenshot, and I didn't even look, but he says, check it out, because this is the setup. And I looked, and I saw AB, and I said, I thought of we grew up, and I thought of good times that I had with him, of laughing and doing dumb stuff in his mother's house. And then I went to do the interview, and I did the interview, and I got in depth. I got really emotional because I was really angry, and I've been harboring. I've been quiet, but I've been harboring sentiments that I haven't been able to share. Like Tre knows, and but like no one else knew. So I told my story, my half of the story, and he says, "Would you ever?" I said, "I would love to, but the circumstance has to be right for me. I don't know if AB would be okay with how I would want it." So because of that, I wouldn't even dare ask, and the three of them that I'm not going to mess with, and I'm not even going to try. So he says, "You want me to try?" And I was like, "No." And then he called me again, and he says, "Do you want me to try?" I said, "No." And Joey Gardner usually is able to talk me into things, and I couldn't. So time elapsed, and slipping through my hand, "Don't Call It Love" and "Slipping Through My Hands" came out, and you and I were talking about, you and I had talked about it one, and after I hung up the phone with you, it was ill because he called me up and said, yo, and he started running down the story. He says, I think AB's, going through something, and I think that the two of you should talk. I said, I'm not ready. And he said, okay. A week, and he said, how's about it? How's about? And he explained to me the logistics of everything that's been happening with Abe. And he says, you should sit down and talk. And that was 3 weeks ago. And that's for next Friday. He says, well, when are we going to do it? And then, because of Tre and Los, I love to go to Washington Heights and eat Dominican food. So I did it up in Washington Heights. so, so we met on 175th Heights in this, and
Okay, you may have to
for 3 hours.
you may have to disconnect from Wi-Fi because your signal's coming in and out. The other gentlemen are clear,
Right.
but you are having a little bit of a problem. I'm going to just take this time to go to Avi. Avi, how did the door open up for you to have this communication with Kay?
Going back, like Kay said, when I went to do the documentary, Joey had asked specifically if you had the opportunity to work with Kay again, would you? And I answered quickly. I said, of course I would. I'm no fool. That would be dope. Depending on the circumstances. Towards this I learned a lot during this COVID-19. I learned what matters and what really matters. I learned the people who said they are by my side that are actually by my side. So I'm 53 and I grew up so much in these few months. And I was at a point where nobody knew yet, but after a certain thing went down, I was at a point where I personally wanted to move on. And I was just going to go and start on my own, AB Cruise, and, sing One Way Love, Come Get My Love, X-Ray Vision. If that's what I felt at the time. And like I said, it wasn't an easy decision, but it was something that I did decide to do. And the only person that knew was my wife. And my wife is going to support, whatever makes me happy. Certain things that happened that I wasn't happy. And I just didn't feel it. During this time, I just didn't feel like I was in the right place. For personal reasons, business reasons, I just didn't feel it. My heart wasn't there. And the more time passed by, the more it felt like that was right. That I wasn't there no more. So, the opportunity came up to speak with someone, and I had already decided that I was going to just do me, and I spoke to the individual, and he set it up, and nobody took this lightly. People might say, "Oh, you just met once," but we met once, and we got Kate. Kate got straight down to business. We were there for hours. It wasn't just it was business, And I guess Kate will take the lead to explain, because there's a misconception about what's going on. But we both came with open ears and ready to listen. And I think that's what took it all the way, that neither one of us went there with anything but the willingness to listen to one another and then see what happens.
And I think that's what the community itself as a genre is missing. Missing that communication. If you look at social media now is you're going to listen to what I have to say. What I say goes, and that is that. And there's no retort. You're going to write something passive aggressive. You're going to be a keyboard gangster, or you're going to make your threats. You're going to do the things that you would do behind the scenes, but not in front of the person. And also the communication will not be there. It'll be people either making things up as they go, or people making threats as they go. And it becomes muffled. The message becomes muffled. And the one that suffers is the audience, because
Yeah.
the audience really likes
The real
AB.
fans.
They
The real
they
fans
really,
out there.
yeah, the real fans, and they really like K. And then they're made to choose what team they're going to belong to. And this team thing has to go away. Too many teams, and that's something that we'll discuss in the future. But to continue on with the conversation about the reunion of these vocalists from TKA, Tre, were you aware of the circumstances? Were you aware of what was going to happen between these two gentlemen?
I wasn't. I wasn't aware of that. Kay, I guess Kay kept us in the dark because maybe he didn't know how it was going to turn out. I mean, he doesn't like to come to Los and I with something that's not going to happen. He likes to be definite about it, and then he's like, "Guys, this is what's happening." So he came to me. He said, "I need you to come to Frankie's show." I said, "All right, are we promoting the new song? The whole thing." He's like, "Well, AB's gonna be there," and I was like, "Who's gonna be there?" I said, "What?" I said, "Wait, hold up, back up. What?" Yeah. Hello.
Well,
I'm sorry about that. Well,
yeah.
he said we talked, and uh, I was like, it was weird because I was like, wow, I was very excited, but then I was like, huh, because it's been so long. There's been, I don't want to get into it, but there's been a lot of negativity with a lot of things, and we've always kept on course with our fans, with our show. We don't, me personally, I, my brother introduced me to TK. Like, he brought the cassette home, and he's like, "Look at these dudes." And I was a fan from the beginning. So I was a freestyle fan for a long time, and then I got into the business. And for me, I'm more like, I remember that being the fan. So for fans, I'm all about that. I'm all about the fans being positive about everything that's going on. So when you hear some negativity, I'm like, I always feel bad. I always apologize to the fan. I'm like, "I'm really sorry, man." It's like, I want this to be a positive experience for you, you know?
If I can
But
follow it up with a question to you, Tre, how do you feel when people say that you're a swing kid, or that you're not real TKA?
here's the thing. Here's the thing about that. When I saw TK as AB, Tony, and K. Uh, AB was replaced with Angel. So that happens in groups. It happens. Actually, it happens a lot. People get replaced all the time. But for when someone calls me a swing kid, I'm like, that's exactly right. Like, we we're a platinum selling group. Like, we went out all over the world, and calling me a swing kid. I mean, I look at people like, is that supposed to be an insult to me? I am a swing kid. That's what it is. So listen, it's K's project. K took me into K7 of the Swing Kids, and he took us he evolved into K7/TKA, and this is what we do. We're here to perform for the fans. We want you guys to be happy. And listen, bringing AB on board, AB, let me tell you something. I don't know you very well because I've never really had any interaction with you really throughout the years. I heard from I actually since 2 days ago, I've heard, yo, AB's a good dude. I'm glad that AB's with you guys. I'm glad he's gonna do stuff with you guys. And I'm like, I know that, and Kay has always spoke highly of him. He's like, it's too bad because I like AB, and everybody that speaks about AB never has anything negative to say. And for me, to see them do Scars of Love, Frankie is absolutely right. We were looking at each other like, yo, this shit is really happening.
Yeah,
I
to,
was
to
like,
quote to quote the producer of Slipping Through
wait,
My Hands, Willie Valentine, he's like, "I have a tear in my eye right now." And so
oh
we
wow.
have a group chat, and he and I, we have the same sentiment, and I was like, "Man, this is unbelievable." The fourth horseman was here, Lowe's. I believe he may have taken a phone call. He
He
should be
he
back soon.
he
He's
popped
back.
he popped in and popped.
Yeah, he
Now,
just salsa his way out of the conversation real quick.
He's getting some coffee. He's getting some coffee.
Probably. Kay,
well,
go ahead.
you know, I when we started this, you know, when I turned around and took and brought Tre and Los into this situation, the first few years, AB and Angel were performing as AB and Angel. I said to Tre and to Los, you know, and Prophet was with us at that time. I said,
Yes.
rock for a minute. We're gonna rock for a minute this way, and we'll do a reunion in a
Hey, Loki.
and we'll keep going. What up, Los? Is your speaker working, Los? Is your speaker working?
Yeah, make sure you have some headphones
At
on.
that time,
Make sure you turn on your audio device and your microphone as well. Somebody text him and tell him because he's just frozen in time. Those, how are you?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Maybe he's
I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna text him.
I think he's doing a stare down.
I'm gonna text him.
The intention was the intention was to unite, and it was going to be the five of us. It was going to be AB, myself, Angel Vasco, and Tre and Los, and Prophet, and that was the intent. And then the internet and egos, instigators, and got in the way, and then it turned negative. And I said, damn, if they can just stop for a while, we can get past this. And then the level of disrespect, insults, not from AB, of course. No, AB participated, which he and I had already spoken of. And under the circumstances of how he participated, we spoke about it, and we're good with each other with it.
You know, we got everything out of the way for me and Kay.
Right. So it just became so out of hand for me that I couldn't, I said, well, there's no turning back. There's no turning back at all. And, then, one of the promoters turned around and did the, thing to me, which is, that betrayal really bothered me. And I said, oh, okay. So this is that not happening. Me and Tre and Los, we said, Prophet had left because he was going to pursue something else. And we said, this is what it's going to be. I'm not, I want you guys not to think of yourself as the Swing Kids. We're going to, and we're going to move this, we're going to move forward. It's not going to be just K7 TKA. It's just going to be TKA. And they questioned me on it. They said, what does this mean? And I said that you got our TKA. Because at the time they were still the Swing Kids, even though we had started doing the hybrid thing, and because I owned it.
If I may interject for a second, how did you get the trademark to TKA?
Legally.
Please explain to the audience.
When you get a trademark and you buy a trademark, and there's other entities involved, those entities have within the 6-year period to contest that trademark. If not, it's called and that abandonment gives you now the right and ownership. If you
have low bars wherever you're located. Okay, you have low bars wherever you're located. You may have to either switch off of your Wi-Fi or turn on your Wi-Fi because you have a low signal. And when you're trying to give us your point, it's
choppy. It's choppy.
It's very choppy, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear.
Is that better? Is that better? Is that better?
No, you still have low bars.
Yeah. Try a coat hanger. Just attach a coat hanger to it.
That's old school.
And then stand on one foot. Big shout out go out to Aina. I hope she's doing well.
It's always your friends. It's always your friends.
He's good.
Hold on.
Thanks.
Still.
Nothing.
Anyway,
Sheesh.
Jose,
Now
listen,
your
I wanted
bars,
to
now
say,
your bars are good.
okay, he's back,
Yeah, his bars are well. Now they're back at the red mark.
but now we can't see him.
Yeah, no, yeah, he's John Cena now. Trey, go ahead.
Okay, you ready? You good?
Okay, you
Well, no, you're still not good. I wanted to say this. I wanted to interject a little bit with what Kay was saying about when he was hearing the negativity. I saw the what that was doing to him. Artistically, you know, as artists and performers, you need to be in a headspace where you need to be creative. We need to stay creative and what to do next and what's new and how can we make this better. And with him, he was kind of stuck. And it was this negative cloud over him all the time. Even I'm all about, I choreograph our show and I'm all about the performance. I would come to him. I, he would speak about performances. I speak about changing things up, things like that. And I could just see that he wasn't really interested because of this cloud, you know?
I
And
would have conversations with both sides, and I know that I would get on AB's nerve, and we would get into heated discussions. And I would tell him, I'm like, yo, I support you, I love you, I'm a big fan, and so, but I always wanted this to end in a way
yes,
where
yes,
it was
yeah,
amicable, and if we didn't put the audience right in the middle, and that's what happens now in social media more than ever, we
right.
make the audience choose, and they say, I came up with a name, it's mine, so you have to follow me, or this person sang this and this person sang that, so who's the original, who's not the original, and it just gets so muddled. We still have the same issue with the cover girls and other groups, and I'm glad that this one here is straightening itself out. We got the two voices of the group, um,
You mean
and
the
the actual,
actual?
yeah,
Oh
the
boy.
actual,
yeah, the actual.
yeah, the actual voices. So I want to make sure that the audience understands that this is a positive step. And Kay, I know that you're here and you wanted to answer this question. This question is for you. Why not reunite with the other members, Tony and Angel?
Um, okay. In business, you have to realize adage that says "Don't burn bridges." Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes,
Yes.
you're good. You're good.
There's a there's an old thing that they say that don't burn bridges, right? And and I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't burn bridges. I also try to be as forgiving as I possibly can. And but over the past 14, 15 years, too many things have happened. Um, uh, and too many negative things have been happening. And as even up until recently, probably a day ago, or just today, negative things have been happening on that front. And there can't be no going back. Me and AB never had no real animosity, and the things that AB said were things because I'm sure that in the heat of the moment,
I was upset, at the time. That was what was, people say things when they're upset, you know.
and
Right.
but we had no real true beef,
Right.
um, you know, and the mob mentality is that's why I told Tre and Los never to speak up about it, never to go online and write it. They wanted to defend themselves because they were attacked too. But I went out my way to tell them don't, and that I would handle it, that we would handle it our own way, and I kept quiet because I just felt that first of all, it's personal. It's not no one else's business. Two, it was um, we're not those people. You know, I'm not. I wasn't raised to fight online. And I'll be honest with you. One of the other two guys that used to be in this group used to see me because I used to when the internet first started. I didn't know how to really adapt to it. I used to get online and I used to argue with everyone about stuff. because I wanted them to understand what the music business was all about and what we, the artists, were trying to accomplish, and that we needed them to support us. In the early days of Club Freestyle and pages like that. And one time I got into like a really ugly argument online with someone, and who is not my partner any longer or friend, turned around and said, "We're TKA. We don't have to argue with people." And I said, "Okay, 7, you don't have to argue with anybody." After saying that, he said all this to me. And he says, and I stopped and I said, "You're right." But the funny thing is, my silence worked on him because I didn't have to argue with him. Every single weekend, as opposed to any negative thing that was written about me Monday through Friday or Saturday or Sunday, was I'd get with Tre and Los and we show what we do, and we'd entertain the people with the catalog of songs that I sang. I never sang AB songs out of respect for AB. When I last spoke to AB,
that conversation.
I think it was right. When I it was I think it was 09. Me and AB spoke on the phone in 09. And I had already had, I think, 4 years with the trademark. And I was like, I got only 2 years left, right? And prior to that, we would do 30 seconds, which is the chorus of One Way Love. But I never felt right during the chorus of One Way Love every time we used to do it. And because I always felt bad when we did do it. And then when AB was doing beat stocks with us, right? Because we were doing beat together, I felt like he's in the marketplace. It's horrible for me to be, during the chorus of a song that the guy is in the marketplace working with me. It's just unfair. So I called him up, and what I thought was a good thing turned out into an ugly argument between me and AB.
That's why things got carried away for me and Cole.
But right. But my word to him was a word to uphold. And trust me, others, my friends, have also do it. People have offered me money to do it. Tre, you can chime in here if you'd like to, and Los, if he takes his phone off video.
No, actually, Los is listening in, but something's happening with his internet. So,
let me go to AB for a moment.
Sang his songs.
AB and I had that discussion as well, where he would say that the K7 version of TKA, quote unquote, was singing his songs. That I was like, no, he doesn't. I was there. We were to.
You and I had that discussion, and it got heated. Also, we've exchanged not so pleasant, private stuff, because I would send you a private message because I didn't feel like writing it out.
Yeah, we haven't spoken in 4 years, AB.
And the last time we did, it wasn't that great.
Yeah, so, the paragraph is that big.
So people that may think, oh, AB this, AB that. No, I haven't spoken to CPR, and the last time that I did, it was not a good thing. But in order to make progress, people got to move on. I feel like without moving on, there is no progress. You're going to get stuck in the same place, and then you blame other people for you not moving. But it's you keeping yourself there. This goes for everybody. So, I decided this is a new direction for as long as it's going to last, and I decided I'm going to do this. Now, back to your question. It's getting caught up in all the hype. It's getting caught up in half the times I wasn't even online to see anything, because I was never one to be online. People see me once in a while. I just got caught up, and people would tell me stuff. I wouldn't even go and watch their show on Facebook, or where people said they were singing my songs. I would be like, oh yeah, really? And I would just write something. You live and you learn. It's just a past experience that didn't help anybody. Pointing fingers. the
Right.
arguing, the accusations. It helped no one prosper. You
My
know,
dream, my dream, and the most positive thing that has come out of 2020 was TKA slipping through my hands, and that opened up doors for a lot of people right now. And that song has been one of the biggest songs in the last 20 years. But for me, what I wanted out of that project more than anything was that the other side, which would be Tony's side, he's doing the Kings of Freestyle, and what I wanted was for him to say, "That was my old group. Congratulations to them and their new track. I'm doing Kings of Freestyle right now," and then in vice versa, you guys promote each other in a way where the community sees this interaction between the members of TKA and the former members of TKA, and you're moving forward to move the music forward. Because I've heard some of the material from the Kings of Freestyle, and there's some things on there that I would play, and I thought that it would be a great idea for Tony and Angel to say, hey, and even Avi to say, hey, congratulations on slipping through my hands. We're doing the Kings of Freestyle now, and we're moving forward with this. And I thought that would be a positive thing to do for our community. Go ahead, Kay.
Um,
You're pointing your finger at me.
and
or me.
I'll say this, and you know this, because promoting slipping through my hands and those little. I said this song is a step forward for the community. That is all of us as a whole. I included foe in there, and I say foe as, friend or foe, right? Because I think that whether you like, if this music, if this genre catches on again, as it did back in the 90s and the late 1990s, right? When this resurgence started, if it caught on again, we'd all have as a unit, whether we liked each other or not. Now, I said that because it is the music, right? Overall, what I've learned about the TK7 catalog is that this music this group as a whole, for what the music was, is important. AB's contribution, as I told him to his face, and as I've always said to you, those songs helped us in our trajectory get to where we needed to go.
What I need you to do, Kay, is I need you to find a place in your house that has a signal, and then I need you to come back, because everyone here is interested in what you want to say, but all we get is that.
I'm lifting up my hand.
I don't know.
Is it working?
No.
The signal is slipping through your hands.
I
Wait. I do have a drum roll.
I'm gonna try to walk around and see if it gets any better.
I'll let you know, because I can see your signal strength here as well. Tre, how has it
Yes,
been?
sir.
How has it been being in the middle of the situation? Again, you can't speak. Your hands are tied. Your mouth is shut. How have you felt all these years?
You're right. I felt kind of in the middle, because it's like, Kay brought me on to his project after they had broken up and so forth. And then their beef is like, I don't really know a lot of the underlying issues they may have had, things like that. So, you can't really comment on much. But what I can comment on is along our journey, the last 10, 12 years, our journey, I saw some of the stuff that was being said about us and things like that. And I'm like, I've always said, why doesn't just everyone do what they have to do? That's my thing. Like, just be the best you can. Let's just keep putting good performers out there. I would go every time I go to shows, I watch all the other performers, and I look at the fans, and it's just, for me, it was all about the fans. And that created this negative thing that a lot of fans even came at me and said, Tre, what was going on? But I'm like, that was the hardest part for me, is having a fan DM me and feeling bad about anything in freestyle. I want it to be where they come to a freestyle show or they talk about a specific artist or any or artists in general and just have a positive vibe because that's how I was. So that was the hardest thing. The
Avi,
fans coming at me that way.
thank you for that. Avi, did you feel like you were looking from the outside in all these years?
No, not really. I mean, it depends. You know, sometimes I felt that way, but sometimes I didn't. You know, they don't get me wrong. I mean, it wasn't like it was all bad or with the other guys, you know. But sometimes, yeah, it did feel like that because sometimes, like when I would go online, I'm getting bashed. I know how that felt too, from people who are or from that side, the fans, which should never have to pick sides. You know, their fans
Right.
for me. I felt that part also. You know, so that took a lot out of it for me. That took out the fun for me because I do this because I love it. There's no other reason because I love to perform. There's nothing like being up there. So
So
I felt it sometimes, you know, but sometimes I didn't think about it. I just did what I had to do. You know, that's
One
the
thing,
honest truth.
one thing that I will say about Angel, who was doing another interview on another place, was that
Yes, yes.
he was very happy for you. He was very
That-
complimentary,
That's
and he talks about how much he's admired you over the years. And I think that was so gracious of him. The person conducting the interview was trying to trap him into saying something negative or trying to get into that beef stuff, and he was just
it's
very poised. He was straight,
yeah.
directed to the point, and he was very supportive of this move for you.
I just want to say something real quick. He said something, you know, he is my brother. You know, I support him in his projects. He's working on his solo project, and I wish him the best. He's been nothing but a friend, and we passed that, you know. And I love him for everything that he said because I know it was sincere. And when I say that, I'm being sincere. And more power to him. And I hope he kicks ass. You know, I'll be the first one to clap. We all picking our ways, which way we want to go. You know, this is the way I chose to go. He chose his way, and I wish him the best from the bottom of my heart, straight up. That's my brother for life. You
And make
know.
sure you check out that A Love featuring Mellow Man Ace. Not a bad
Yeah.
track.
Wow.
Somebody remix that for me so I can play it. You know what I mean? King, you wanted to say something. Oh, you got bars now. You can talk. Or your phone.
Oh, damn. Okay, very
You see the
nice.
bars? He got four
I see
bars.
that. I see that. That's nice.
He took his wife's phone and got the Wi-Fi
um
password.
yeah, that's what it was. I had to sit in my living room in front of my TV. But no,
Did Gino
the
Caporelli let
good.
you borrow his phone? Because this is the same thing that was happening when I had Gino on. Big shout out to him at
Yes,
the
yes.
401 Hit
Ernest,
Freestyle.
Ernest, let me. I tried to go back there in the light, but
Oh no.
I have to stay over here.
Back.
No, I'm sorry. My wife was interrupting me.
The red bars are back.
You better not interrupt her grazing
Yeah,
anatomy hour.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Damn. Okay, come on now. Just keep walking around.
Oh,
I can't leave you what's wrong, but I'm going to try again. Let's see if this works. Hold on.
Who do you have? Who do you have? Optimum?
No, I have
You
Sprint.
got Nextel. You got Sprint.
oh
Next
wow.
No, that explains it. More drop Sprint, more drop calls in more places. Yeah, that's who they are.
You have Sprint, huh?
Oh my
Yeah.
God. What are you watching?
Yeah.
Cuomo? You want to call from a landline?
No, really? You're going to do that to me? There I go. Listen.
Jose, he said a landline.
You got that K7 rotary phone from back in the day when you used to send the stamps on the back of the CDs to get a prize.
It's like, ba-ding, da-ding,
It,
ba-ding, da-ding, da-ding.
Zunga zung,
it, it,
zunga
it's
zung.
my next cell phone. It's my next cell phone.
All right.
Yo, look, right when I'm about to talk, I get the bars again.
You're the guy that has to talk the most, and you're the least
You
what
know,
we're understanding tonight.
Listen, I can understand Los
Um,
better than you. He's not even on.
Yo,
hold on.
Lowe's has said some deep,
No,
impactful
I'm
stuff
here.
during the last 45
Oh,
minutes.
Los. Wait, Los.
You
We can hear
there?
you?
What up, kid?
Talk,
I'm here.
bro.
Oh,
Lowe's,
we can hear him.
Talk.
thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor to have you here. I know that you just finished your salsa class, and you got that six-pack of Butelo all ready to go. How you feeling today?
I know I can't even represent with my yellow T-shirt. You know what I mean?
And how are you feeling about this new formation, this reintroduction, or this family reunion between AB and K?
Yeah. I'm feeling nostalgic. Quite honestly. My first introduction to TKA back in '87 was with K and AB being members. So to see that back then and then all the way now, to see them together again, it's quite an amazing feat, and the fact that the world goes around in circles and you never know where you're going to end up. And so I'm extremely excited. I'm happy, and I can't even wait to see all the greatness that's going to come out of this.
Speaking of that, everybody wants to know, Kay, is AB and yourself going to get together to perform together once this COVID-19 stuff is out of the way?
So
that worked out. Because I had this scenario, right? I had this scenario where
come on, shut up before I lose my bars.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let him
Stand on
speak.
your head. Stand on your head. Go like this.
Shut up.
Karate Kid.
Shut up before I lose my bars. The truth of the matter is, this is not a new team. AB is his own man. AB Cruz is the AB Cruz, and we're pushing for AB Cruz to get the notoriety that he deserves as that. When AB left the group, he went out and he recorded and he contributed to freestyle for a very long time under his own moniker. And I believe that moniker holds weight and could, not only with his TKA classics, but, with his talent. So we will be performing together, special occasions, for the fans. AB is now part of our family. I believe that AB doesn't need any umbrella other than AB Cruz. And this is my opinion. I think that, I want him to shine. I don't want him to be, I don't want people to turn around and say, and, like the naysayers like to do, they like to put a negative title or spin on it. I don't want to wake up tomorrow and say, AB Cruz, the new swing kid. He's not the new swing kid. You know what? And though that's not a negative connotation in any way, fashion, or form,
No.
I want him to get his notoriety like my peers, like my brother Suave, like my compadre George Lamont, like my good lifelong friend Coro, and like many other, like Noel, and like many other of the freestyle male artists in this genre who vocally changed the trajectory of this music and influenced many other artists to this genre. AB's voice is an important voice for freestyle. It is freestyle's first and original pop vocal. And I think that, it's been missed because of, being overlooked, BS, because of negativity, because is wants to be louder than the music. And the music is what's most important. To me right now, AB's
I've
here.
had the honor to play some of his music. I've had the honor to promote him and book him on Puerto Rican festivals. And, he has the voice. The voice is there. I've seen him sing One Way Love and On My Mind and all those that he's put forth all these years. And I've followed him and his path. And I all his songs and all the great stuff that he's put out. I've played. And you're completely correct. And the words that you just said are familiar because I think those are the same thing. Those are the same words that I've told you about him. I just really want the TKA subject to end as if I want people to from this day forth to move forward with the TKA brand and understand that you guys are in a good place. You guys will continue in a good place. Unfortunately, there are bridges that have been burned that cannot be repaired because, as I stated before on social media so many times, there are things that you say and there are things that you do that you can't take back, no matter what. And social media has us where we're taking these big steps forward to burning bridges that we could never repair. We actually burn the bridge as we're on it, or before we even build it. And so this specific topic of who to choose and what to choose has to end because we can't move forward. We can't promote the actual voices of TKA without us moving forward from this subject and understanding that things are not going to back to the way that the people want or wanted, but this is the new iteration of the group.
I told AB yesterday in a conversation, AB, you could jump in. I said, for the longest, we've been the subject matter that has distracted this community from paying attention to other artists that could have helped this genre a long time ago because this genre likened to bochinche, right? Or the gossip or the hate, right? And I said, we've been a major distraction, like, fulano de tal or artist, Z with an incredible song. And because that morning, his record, a week's worth of, TKA arguments would get online and, those things regurgitate the same story we can have over and over again, the distraction would happen and, that artist would not get a liking. And I think for me, it's like we need to use social media and it's really about, for this genre, it's about advancing the genre. Like there's artists out there now that need to be heard. There's artists out there that need to be promoted and no better time like the present.
Yep.
We're, right? There's,
I agree, man.
And, if you're going to talk about, when AB Cruz's record is out there, Sonics of TKA from the Scars of Love album, because I'm doing backgrounds with AB Cruz, and and when the new TKA song comes out that features AB Cruz with me on vocal, then you guys will be happy that way as well. You get what I'm saying? It goes, and that's how we'll feed you sonically, but the most important thing is that the genre as a whole, we need to move forward. We need to learn from this, from this 15-year argument that we can be distracted to the point of becoming stagnant.
Yep. I have just one thing to add. I keep saying this to myself. If only they would put the gossip down and pick the music up. That's all. Put the gossip down and pick up the music. You're letting people are letting just the gossip shine, which it shouldn't. There's so much beautiful freestyle music out there. There's some that isn't, but so what? There's so much that could be heard, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring the music. We're gonna do what we say we're gonna do. No gossip, just music.
Hey, gentlemen,
real quick,
I'm sorry, Jose.
Trey,
I'm sorry to interrupt. I got to take off, but I appreciate you doing this because this clears a lot of things up.
Trey, before you leave, I want to make an announcement.
Okay.
In the next 30 days, you will be able to see AB Cruz live at one of our events coming up. And he will, be performing.
I almost fell off my sofa, bro.
Hey, AB, AB,
and,
we have
he will be performing his
rehearsal
hit.
next week, brother.
I got it already. Oh, don't worry. Everything I get the text like, hey, K's like, hey. I'm like, you got it. Let's go, baby.
And that's exactly how it sounded. It was
No.
how it
But Kay,
sounds.
I didn't mean to interrupt you though. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I almost fell off my sofa. But
Nah, but it's good. It's
Nah,
gonna be. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be good, man.
Well, Tre, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. I will let you go. Los,
Yes,
if
thank
you
you.
have to also go.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you both for joining us here tonight. Los, you can stick around if you want to. I know that you're having a big cup of coffee. But Tre, thank you so much for joining us.
Jose, thank you very
hope
much
to
for
catch
having
you
me,
soon.
brother.
Yeah. No, thank you so much, Jose. A pleasure.
Okay, guys.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Look, I'll call you back in a little bit. Have a safe flight tomorrow.
All right, man. Later.
All right.
All right, so now I want to thank Los and Tre for coming on the show. I know that Los, he does like 20,000 things throughout the day. I'm sure he was tired and ready to call it a day. He got his cafezote, cafetazo, and he's ready to probably do more dancing. But I got you both
that's
here.
King Coffee.
Yeah, man, King Coffee. Big shout outs going out to him. But you guys are here. You guys are the voices of TKA. Where did this logo come from? AKTual Voices. Can you please explain that?
Well, I can't explain it, but I can tell you what happened when I saw it. I just was like, what the? And then when I read it, I was like, I told them it's genius, but you know who got it.
All right, so 2.5 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, in fact, the day before me and AB sat down and have a conversation, CPR calls me up. He says, "Yo, I got an idea for merch for you," and I said, "What?" He says, because we're always talking wrestling. He says, "You should do the NWO shirt," and I was like, "But with TKA." And I said, all right. So it took me like 10 minutes and I put it together and I sent it over to him. And he said, yeah, that's what you should do. And I said, all right. He says, make me one. He goes, and I want a hat. He said, make me one and I want a hat. So I turned around and I made the logo. I sent it to my guy and 2 weeks or whatever. And he said, cool. And then when he went to make the shirts, he said that my file was corrupted. So I had to come back home and redo the whole thing all over again. And I had then already spoken to AB, and we knew that we were going to go up to Frankie's show. And I said, I'm going to make AB a AB shirt, just so that AB, a shirt for him. And it was going to say AB, True Voices, right? Because that was AB's, moniker back in the day. So I wanted to put that on the shirt. So I hit A and called me and interrupted my call. And I came back and I automatically hit K. I was doing a logo for I put the T and I realized that it says ACT. And I said, and it just popped. You're thinking of AB, it popped into my head of, AB's moniker when he did his solo album, Voice of TKA. So I said, actual. And I put the UAL and I said, Voices of TKA on the bottom. And I just sent it over to my guy and, to make those shirts. I wanted AB to have something for me, give him a gift, and something that would be special for he and I to,
here's the thing.
to rock.
People want to buy the shirt now.
Yeah, who you telling?
Yes. Yeah. Everyone's been asking me about that shirt, and yeah, both shirts are going to be out, within a couple of days. I start taking orders. You could either go to AB Cruises, to get your actual shirt, or you can come to my page. I'm the TKA and the NWO shirts, but we'll be selling the actual ones together, which AB and I will share profits on.
Are you guys gonna do the too sweet when you get up on stage together? Because that's gonna cement it.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. When we did love at Frankie's, I want you to know that that's the first time, literally. We didn't rehearse that. That is the first time, literally, in over 30 plus years that he and I have sang that song together. And it felt like riding a bike, and it was so, my
It went smooth, like
2 hours
it was
after.
yesterday.
How was your wife's reaction, Avi?
Well, she really didn't know what was
She
going
was
on.
there.
So she was there, but her reaction is still showing on her face. It's like, damn, you know. So like Kay and I really kept this close to the vest. Like we just wanted to do it and just get it done, So it was exciting. She was excited,
I had this energy once the show was over and I watched. I had this energy and I could not go to sleep. It was 2 a.m. and I would just kept on looking at the pictures, kept on, you grabbed them and you hugged them while you're singing, and it's a great moment for our music. And I want the people that have a negative vibe inside them right now, just go back and watch the video and see two friends, people that have not spoken in a long time, not performed in a long time, get together for the first time in a long time and just let the past be. Everyone out there has had this with someone in their life where they were close, they didn't speak for a long time, and then it just came back together as if nothing, like it was night and day, like it was one day. Years passed, but they just came back like it was night and day. And that's what we need more in our community. Understand, 2020 has been a horrible year, but for freestyle itself, we've had some glimpses of positivity
Hope.
coming out of this COVID crap. And, we had a great TKA record. We had the two voices of TKA unite again. I mean, we could cure world hunger right now. That's how I feel with the positivity that I feel with this combination, right?
Exagerado.
Yeah, of course.
Exagerado.
All right, let's just go pass out sandwiches then. Okay. Anyway, so I want people to see the positivity. People thought that I was gonna come here and put this show together to talk about negativity or talk about the other two members. That's not what we're here for. We're here to celebrate this. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something. First, I'm gonna say this, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. First of all, real quick shout out to Frankie Cutlass, to Willie Valentine, to Alyssa B, to Gino Caparelli, to you, my executive producer, because you guys, we've had fun over the past couple of months, and I feel like we're trying to do things in a positive way and showing unity where I didn't think, honest to God, you and Frankie Cutlass working together on something was a glimmer of hope for me. You guys could put aside your differences for the greater good of a song. And then I said to myself, I got to practice what I preach, right? So shouting out those people, I want to shout out all my brothers and sisters in freestyle. First, my rap pack of George, Judy, Suave, Coro, my cousin Cynthia, and Noel, get well real quick, and Melendez, and if I'm forgetting anyone that's not coming to mind right now, I'm sorry. It's because I'm trying to remember everything. What happened? Wait. My wife gave me. Oh, my wife, because my work wife is usually she's here right now chasing my daughter around. But Betty D, I love you. I'm shouting out these people because these people for the past years have been in my corner, showing me support, giving me encouragement, and for a better. All my friend Sammy Zone, who's been, and my friend Tom, who I've also been always on the phone with if I'm not with CPR. I say this and I leave AB for last because I want him to understand this and I want him to hear from my face And I want all of you guys within the sound of my voice to hear my sincerity. When you left this group, you left a void. And I stepped up because someone needed to step up. But in all honesty, you were missed. You are an asset and an important part of this community. I wish that I, at the time, would have been more mature enough to say, go back to you and help you struggles and during the time that you weren't in this group and been a real friend. And I just hope that now, 30 years removed from that, that this rekindling of this friendship is something that you can really make work, that provide people with hope as we did at the start of this week, and as these people have been seeing. And I'm glad that we could, not that there was a really real, anger between you or I. I'm glad that we can get past it. I can't wait to see you shine, brother, because you deserve this moment.
Thank you.
So, Avi, I'm gonna give it to you to say whatever you want during the final moments of this get together between the actual voices of TKA.
Really, really quick. What he just said touched my heart, and I appreciate the words. Because some people say words are just words, but you don't need to say it unless you mean it. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, and we're gonna make it work. I'm here to move forward and to just keep moving forward. I'm getting a chance to do things a little differently, and let's go, brother. And besides that, I just want to say I've gotten over 250 messages on Messenger, which I never checked before when I used to get 2. So you can imagine now, but for all the people showing support, and for my family, straight up, my wife, my brothers and sisters, when they saw this, they had my back. They have my back 100%. My nephews, my nieces, and my kids, and there's very few artists that reach out to me, but one, I don't know what relationship is what, but I'm friends with Shy, and he called me ecstatic, so happy, and I heard he did a live, and I want to thank him for his words of encouragement to me also, because it was 100% positive, and he said, hey, don't look back, and I want to thank him for that, because and Angel also, regardless of whatever happened, he said, this is what you're gonna do, then do what you got to do. I'm happy for you. He was, man, we have a different relationship than people know about, whatever, and I know he got my back and I got his, so I just want to thank, those people. Did I say my wife? Because if I didn't, and if I did, I'm just gonna say it again. My wife. Thank you, babe. All right, and okay, man, it was so surreal sitting down with you that we sat there for hours, and I thought this was gonna be something that was just like, we're gonna talk and then give it a thought. But I gotta say this straight up. When I sat down, there was we didn't even shake hands. We bumped, social distancing. And Kay got right down to it. This is what I'm thinking, but let's get this out the way first. And I appreciate that. I don't know how many hours it was, but it was a lot. We were there for hours. And I appreciated the whole thing. He came prepared.
That we were taking so
long. And it was something that we both, I left feeling like, wow, so let's go. And here we are today, over 100,000 views, and thank you to Frankie Cullis for letting us shine on his show. CMG was good. And thank you to E.
And for Frankie, Frankie and Eric,
Man.
bro, Eric, man, people don't really know, but passion to make this a reality,
Yep.
and the influence between you and Frank, and people can say what they want about Frankie. You know what I've seen from Frankie in the past, like 6 or 7 months as a human being, I got it. It's like I'm proud of his growth. I'm proud of his growth. I'm proud of what he's doing. And Eric,
Yeah, man. Eric, thank you,
thank you
brother.
so much.
What? If I can interject here for a second,
And
love fest here.
Just real quick, I gotta say this. I got a message from somebody I didn't know on Instagram, and we didn't talk right away. It happened to be Eric, and man, when I spoke to him the first time, I guess he was feeling me out. I was feeling him out, and then after that, he got right into it. AB, what would you think? And I got to thank him for reaching out to me and to putting this idea, in my mind that this could actually happen, and thanks, Eric.
and so concludes this episode of Freestyle.
I hope the conclusion. I hope that the conclusion is for good. Again, these are two brothers, and people use that term so loosely these days, but these are actual people that care about each other, reuniting after a long period of time, and this should be what we strive for tomorrow. If you're beefing with someone in the freestyle community, reach out tomorrow and squash that beef. Let's move this music forward.
Move it, make music.
And if you can't come to terms with somebody that you're beefing with, then just leave it alone to the point where you let that person eat, and then you make your plate and you go eat somewhere else, and just let's move forward with our music. There's a lot of great music out there. There's a lot of great artists out there. There's more to come from TKA. Any iteration that you want is what you're going to get. And the new projects are being written or already have been written. I've had the opportunity to listen to some of the songs. I'm looking forward to being an executive producer for AB's next track. And I'm signing myself up to help anyone in the community that needs assistance. Let's make this positive step that happened this past Monday. Let's make this reunion that we're having here virtually a positive one, where tomorrow we can wake up and think about what are we going to do next to make this music better. What are we going to do next to have commercial radio listen to us again? What are we going to do to get the fans united? We have pockets of fans that are supporting only sections of the community. We have pockets of fans that are team this, there's team that, and there's team over here. And as you can see, we don't need that. We need team freestyle, as Willie Valentine would say. And it's a movement to get our music to where it needs to be, and a movement to get quality freestyle music back on the radio on a weekly basis, on a daily basis if we can.
Could I shout out my conciliary, Leroy Temple, who person who he with AB, because he was like, he said, "What are you gonna talk about?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he told me, stay focused. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. And not that they were gonna, but it's another person I appreciate. Real quick, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Because I'm gonna call you tomorrow bright and early, as it is. Everybody who's out there, and focus on what we got to do. Music, and you know, let's make this music better. I see Tito Puente Jr. is here. I see Willie's here. You know, I see a lot of artists that are in here. My little brother Jay Allums as well, who's out there. You know, you know, we're in a good place musically, and I think that together as a movement, right? As a movement, we could make this pop. Make it, not pop as in the style of music. Um, you know, we just got to really, really pay attention and learn what music business of. Don't pay attention to people who pretend to know the business of music. Not speaking about anybody in particular. I'm talking generally, serious. That's not a shot. That's me saying, pay attention to the music, to the business of music. This is a music business. You won't be taken advantage of, and you'll know what you're supposed to do. That's very important.
Would you take a couple of questions from the audience? Let's see.
Real quick, CPR.
Sure.
I just want to say thank you to Sapphire and Kenny, and they know why. Thank you guys. Those are two people that have had my back for so many years. Thank you guys. God bless.
I love you, Wilma.
Yes.
I miss her. We used to have some great conversations. We're going to open it up to a couple questions. If anybody would like to write a question out, you're more than welcome to do so. We did have a question from a few people that submitted them yesterday. Let me just open them up here for a moment. So we talked about collaborations. We talked about projects in the future. Those are going to happen. There's new TKA music coming. A new project from K7, new projects from AB. So you guys who are out there asking this question, just know that it's in the works and it's going to happen. Let's see. Question number 14.7999. I think we've covered everything. We talked about the reunion, how it happened. And they want to know about the future. We talked about the future, and you know, it's all
the future. The future's bright. The future's bright. The future of freestyle is
shining right now.
You know,
what do you think? What do you think? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're gonna ask something. That's more important.
What do you think that your Joey Gardner would say right now if he's watching?
I know that if he, so I think he did, because I spoke to him early today, and if he wasn't happy, he would have told me. I know Joey's wanted this for a long time. I'm smiling, but Joey's very much to all of us in this group, even those who left the group early, like India and Spider. Joey's very much a father figure. And he takes the role seriously. He doesn't really get towards the BS, and he tries to stay as neutral as possible and treat us like his children. So right, wrong, or indifferent, he take a side, you know. And so, but I know this moment between AB and I is something that he wanted. So I know he's happy personally.
Are you going to be? I'm here. Are you going to be responding to any negative comments being made from this point forth?
I'm not.
No, I haven't for the past. I haven't for the longest time, and you know, I'm not gonna. I don't think it's necessary. It's, you know, real people, real people. You know, don't do that. Like, I'm not an gangster, nor do I want to. Again, I'm not taking shots on anybody. I'm just speaking how I feel. I'm not an internet gangster, and I'm not going to turn around and I may feel a certain way, but I'm not going to turn around and go after anybody on the internet, whether they talk about me or spew whatever they're gonna. You know, I'll probably read it, I'll probably hear about it, but I'm not gonna hate on nobody. It's a waste of time.
I probably won't even read it. You know, there's so much stuff going on in my life right now that I would not waste half hour on Facebook that I could spend with my wife and my son. So not negative. I will not answer any negative, anything negative. You know, I'm just gonna skim right through it. You want to talk about music? If you're feeling it, if you love the music, let's go. We could talk. You know, but anything else, not into it at all.
Okay, so this is a perfect time to end this conversation. Congratulations on the reunion. I can't wait to hear what's coming from both of you. I can't wait to executive produce both of you. And I can't wait to play both your songs. Hi, Blue. How are you? She's so cute.
Say hi.
So again, guys, thank you so much. Everyone who's in the chat, who's been here for the hour and 15 minutes, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Hi.
Did you just say to hi?
Say bye-bye.
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 Don't forget to subscribe to the CPR's Clubhouse podcast. It's available on iTunes. It's also available on Spotify, iHeartRadio. Go to cprsmusic.com to subscribe. You hear all the latest new freestyle music out right now. Fellas, any last words?
Good night. That's all I gotta say. Put the BS down, the music up. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's make that a shirt, Abe.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Take
All right,
care,
everybody.
guys.
Good night, and thank you so much for joining us here on this great event, the True Voices of TKA, the actual Voices of TKA. We got AB on the left, K7 on the right, and again, thank you so much to Tre and Los for being part of this presentation. Everybody, my name is CPR Jose Ortiz. Good night.
Night.
Peace.
Peace.